Hey, what's up guys? Trey Smith here, CEO at Buildbox, and got a fun video for you guys today. So if you're not familiar with us, if you're not a boxer, and if you don't know what Buildbox is, it's game development software that we created, and we also have a game business with over 65 million downloads. The types of games we make are these hyper-casual games that you see at the top of the App Store, a lot of the ones published by Ketchup, Voodoo, publishers like that. We do a lot of that. I'm going to talk about how to design one of those types of games. Now, here's the deal. I'm not a good designer. I'm actually kind of terrible, but I'm okay at making that style of game because it's minimal, it's pretty easy to do, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Now, I'm using a game for an example here called Cavern. And I'm using this example. We actually published this game when it first came out. And, I'm not sure if it's in the App Store now. We ended up stopping our publishing company. But this game to me always looks so beautiful. A customer of ours, a Buildbox customer, sent this game in. I thought it was really cool, and I changed the background a little bit. He designed the game, and I changed the background. He chose to have the black foreground with different colors. But I added this cave style effect and came up with this name, and I really like this angle. And I'm going to talk about, since I actually helped with this one in the background, I'm going to talk about how to build that type of stuff. This actually uses a light in the back of Buildbox, which is pretty cool. We're not going to get into Buildbox though. We're going to mainly focus on the actual design part. I'm going to be using some software called Pixelmator. You can use whatever you want. We actually have software soon coming out called Pixelbox. We're putting some final touches on that. Once that is ready, I'll be showing you guys more of it as well. So let me go ahead and close this, and then I'll show you guys how I come up with designs. So first off, this is Pixelmator, and this is only for Mac OS X, but you can use all sorts of stuff out there. GIMP's a free one, Photoshop's popular. Like I said, we're gonna have a solution soon. But this one's pretty cool. I've been using it for years. So now here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna first organize this a little bit, get this stuff down so I can get to my opacity and stuff. And the first thing I'm gonna do is use this draw tool. All right, I really like this draw tool right here. And I'm just gonna draw out some different lines here, okay? And we're gonna have a game where you're going up in the game. All right, so as you can see, I just drew out some lines there. Now I'm gonna close them by connecting it. All right, and what I'm gonna do is turn off the stroke. I don't want a stroke on that. You can see when I do that, you can probably hardly even tell there was a little stroke right here, and that is now turned off, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is also create another one on this side. And oops, need to choose this one again. There we go. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of do some cool jut out things like you saw in Cavern there. There we go. And then we're gonna do the same thing, all right? We're gonna connect those. It's gonna close. I'm gonna turn the stroke off, all right? So now I'm gonna go ahead down here and choose to have my color wheel here. All right, I'm gonna highlight both of these by holding down the Shift button. And it's gonna change the color of both of these at the same time. And you know what I'm gonna go for? This is gonna be all the way on the outside. Let's have this pretty dark, all right? And then we're gonna have it lighter as you go inside. So let's see what looks good when it's a pretty dark shade, because some of these don't. Like to me, I think yellow looks terrible dark. You end up having this weird kind of browns, just not very appetizing. So all the browns I don't feel like look good. I feel like blues look really good. Also these aquamarines do. Some of the purples do as well. So we're gonna go ahead and go with this kind of mid-blue aquamarine look. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so now we're back here and we've chosen both of those. Now I'm gonna go ahead and click right here, and we are going to do a little outline, okay? And this doesn't have to match it exactly. You actually don't want it to match exactly. You want it to be a little bit off to give this cool kind of stylized, disheveled look a little bit. All right, and we'll go down there. There we go. And I'm gonna connect this. And then, right now you can't see it, but I'm gonna fix that in a second. We'll move these layers actually around a little bit. Now, before I make this all cool, we're gonna do the same thing here. And we'll just get close right there, make this one almost touch, come down here, and we're just trying to follow a general outline without getting too close. And if you played my game Wall Switch, that was published by Ketchup, you'll notice it had this kind of similar design as well. This is definitely a bit of a signature style thing that I like to do. All right, so now we have this first outlining layer, all right? The one all the way to the outside's pretty dark. Now we're gonna pull this in a little bit more, and you can see that lightening up a little bit. And it's cool to go either way with this, all right? You can make it lighter, or you can make it so it's darker and it looks like shadows. I think either way looks pretty cool. All right, so that's not too bad. Now, I'm gonna switch up some stuff in a second, but for now, we're gonna keep it just like this, and we're gonna do one more layer. And this one's gonna cut in a little bit more. and again, be varied just as much as the last one. There we go. All right, there we go, and let's pull that down. You know, sometimes it's a little cheap, but I like to separate these. We can do groups, but I kind of like just throwing a little empty layer in there so I can visually see it real easy, and I'll combine these in a little bit. All right, now let's go ahead and turn off the stroke on that one. And maybe this one has the stroke. One of these does. Yeah, that one there. All right, and I think this one might have a stroke. So let's make sure we got all those off. All right, there we go. All right, so now we are going to add one more layer right here. And again, do the same thing. There we go. Just a couple more. That one's a little wilder than the rest, and that's totally fine. We're gonna make it skinny right here at the end, kind of the opposite. All right, there we go. All right, cool. So now with this one, we're gonna bring it down here. I'll save that layer for later. I'm gonna highlight both of these layers. Then we're gonna go down here and clean it up even a little bit more. Now we have these multi-layer. Make sure we do turn off the stroke, and we have this kind of cool effect. All right, so this already looks kind of neat, right? But there's something that's bothering me about this, and it's something that I see a lot of people make a mistake on this. It's too saturated. I have a big thing about saturation. If you look at the popular games, a lot of games have this feeling like they're matte instead of glossy, right? If you've seen like the cars that are murdered out that have like the matte black, a lot of games have that look too, instead of the super high gloss. And a way to do that in your designs is simply bring down some of the color right here, desaturate it. This desaturates your color. So here's how we're gonna do that. Actually, real quick, something's bothering me. I'm gonna clean these up. We do not want where they're like intersecting, right? We don't want this to come out. It doesn't have to match up perfectly, but right here, see that? We have to pull that back a little bit. There we go, and I think I do kind of like that. Oh, you know what would be an interesting design angle? And it's really good to freestyle, guys. You know, you don't have to do things the same way every time. Let's see what happens when we have points always meeting, only the outside points. All right, let's see if this works. And I have no clue, it might not, and I might have to take this off, or it might be super duper totally sweet. We're about to find out. All right, clean that up, and that's close enough. And this will be a little bit of a different design style I haven't done before. Give the game a little bit of a unique flavor. Already seems like it's looking kind of cool. Then we'll play with the saturation levels after this. Sometimes it has a hard time. There we go. Yeah, sometimes Pixelmator gets stuck on a layer like that. All right. Now let's go ahead and just see if that looks cool. Oh yeah, that's totally sweet. And we can't pull these back. We can only do it on these. If we did it on these, then it would just all match up exactly, okay? But that is sweet, I like that. All right, so let's go ahead and do it on this side too. Again, just doing the points. Definitely a unique design style I haven't seen people doing. And let's try to unclick that, there we go. Oh, look at that, that's gonna look wild, huh? And we can also pull these back a little bit. It's not like we have to go all of them out. There we go. Pull this right here. And you know, that's overlapping a little bit, but I think it was actually okay. It kind of looked cool. Now this is gonna be hard because that's not really a point. I don't think, you know, maybe we can. Let's see if we can make this work. I think the only way to do that will be pulling this back. There we go. Oops. Yeah, let's see if we can pull this back. Yeah, that's going to be pretty much a flat line, but you know what? Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's pretty cool. I think that last one, though, I kind of messed it up. Yeah, you know what? I know we can fix this real quick. All right, so first off, here, we're going to pull this back a little bit. And that's going to add a lot more flavor to it. And then here, we're going to pull this part, make it more dramatic. There we go, pull this back. There we go. And if we wanted to, you know, I think we could have another one on this side. I think the right side's a little bit busier. But you know what? I have to say, that's looking pretty cool. All right. Now, what's interesting is this is already turning totally different than what I was going to show you guys. And that's awesome because this is exactly how I design art. It's very rarely whatever I'm planning on doing actually works out. I was going to show you in Cavern all these pieces. Let me see if I can pull this back up over here. All these pieces move independently, right? So this moves at a different speed as this and then this. And so it all ends up having this really cool like parallax effect, okay? Where you got the background moving a little bit slower. It looks really great. But with what we're working on, you wouldn't really be able to do that because we have these exact points matching up. All right, so because of that, let's actually add in another layer that could move. Let's make this parallax, okay? And I think a good way of doing that is adding in another layer on top. Let's go ahead and move this to the top and add another layer, make sure we're up top here. Now, this is one that you could move, all right? This is one that we could move parallax. And the reason is it will not rarely go over this, these points over here, okay? So let me go ahead. This will be almost like if you saw my game Wall Switch, it'll be almost like the background of Wall Switch. I might even pull that over just a little bit, bring this up, all right? And let's see if we could make this darker, if that would look good, all right? And then that could move at a different speed. All right, and let's do that again here. All right. We'll say this, the game is definitely looking unique. I don't think I've seen one really like this. There we go. That's the same color. Yeah, that's the same color. And there was just one error right here. Add another one in there, a hard point. There we go. And I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to move this out of the way a little bit. There we go. So that would just be a subtle kind of thing on top that moves along with it. Now, let's go ahead. Let's see how crazy we can get with this, all right? Now, this might not work out, and that's okay. But I'm going to try. Let's go ahead and go down here on this layer. And let's try another one of these that's going to be primarily just in the background moving at a different speed, all right? And you can see that's not as crazy as some of the other ones. We're gonna lighten that up, of course, in a second. And, you know, we can even have like a little bit of a path looking thing there, but you'll see what we're about to do in a second. Oh, actually, you know, I just came up with a really cool idea. All right, so first, let's go ahead and put this in there. And what I would like to do is actually make, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight both of these. I'll do it over here. Pixelmator's bugging out, which it tends to do sometimes. You know, it looked kind of cool being dark though. That was kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that, but I was going to play around with a very light opacity like that. And I think that looks better. All right, so we're going to go with that. All right, so already a pretty cool idea. Now, you could have this layer in the back. You could have it moving independently and this layer moving independently and then the middle. So we're still getting that parallaxed effect, but we have this really unique thing that I have not seen done before right here. And I think this is looking super, super high style, ultra new school, and I think that would be cool. Okay, so now let's talk about gameplay. A lot of times I just get inspired by a background. I almost always start with backgrounds though, just something cool flow in the background. So first off, these look like spikes. I think that's great. So we will definitely have these kill the character. That's what I think right now. My gut's telling me that. And then what could we do from here? You know what? I'm seeing something here immediately. And I'm going to go ahead and choose a rectangle shape. And let's see. Let's go ahead and move this around. That is this background layer right here. We can see that going away. So I want right on top of that because I want it to be behind this background layer here. And we're going to add a shape. Okay. And you know what though? We could go with this flat shape. Now, first off, I'm going to need opacity. I'll tell you what's interesting. I was going to change the saturation because I do like to desaturate stuff, but man, there's something about this being desaturated here because of the opacity. And then this part outside, when we're done, I might, if this video doesn't go on too long, I might play around with doing a lighter color, but I think that looks kind of cool, really. So that's kind of tough. All right, so anyways, right now, I would want a different color for this. I think we could go a little bit darker, probably close to this range right here, and we could just immediately throw some of these in here and have a game where a character is somehow trying to jump and progress to each one, right? Almost like a doodle jump style jumping game. Could be the basis. I wouldn't leave it there. I would have it definitely have some unique hook when you're creating gameplay. You want it to be unique. You want it to be proven yet unique. I call it model and improve. So you want to model games that you know are successful. People like Doodle Jump, people like Flappy Bird, and Color Switch is nothing like Flappy Bird, but it still has that same feel, you know, that hop, hop, hop. And so we could even do that with this. And we could say, how can we make this, you know, hop, hop, hop? You know, an interesting idea, I've never seen this. What if when you tap the screen, it hops 3 times to the right, then 3 times to the left, and you have to time when you hop that to avoid obstacles or something like that? So that could be cool. Or what if you only had 3 hops and then you could land on one of these things? And then you had 3 more hops and you have to really time it. What if these things were moving back and forth and you had to time those 3 hops, or even 1 hop? 1 hop would probably make more sense. That would be kind of cool. And there's been a lot of games similar to that, but we could add a unique flair to it. Maybe even the 2 hop, because I haven't ever seen a game like that with 2 hops. Okay, so this is, you know, actually I was going to show you something else, and I'll do that now. I'll go ahead and hide this layer and show you how we can pull this out. And to stick with the same flow of the game, we can have spikes. And again, this is going to start looking like a lot of the games I've made, because that is definitely my art style. Okay, and then we could copy and paste that and have these various different looking spikes. Here we go, right here. And we could go ahead and copy and paste it again and turn this around this way. And then we could have, they're walking on the spikes. And I think that would be actually cool. Let me do one more down here. Actually, I'm going to have to do 2 more to make it really look good. When you deal with a lot of shapes, you start having a little slowdown, if you can see that on the video. We got a lot of shapes going on. I might want to bounce some of these down. On Pixelmator, it starts doing that a little bit. Let's see here, and that's good enough for now. But there's a problem with this, all right? It's kind of hard to see what's good and what's bad, because if these are spikes, then how do I know I can land on that? It's a little confusing, versus this right here is very noticeable to me. So for characters in minimal games, minimal characters are typically good. If you ever don't know what to do, you can always model and improve, and you can do that on every aspect of your game, from colors all the way through finding different characters in games and seeing how they did that. Of course, a ball is always really popular, but I don't like using balls when you are doing a jumping style game, all right? Because balls, you have to think about the, you know, the philosophy of your game. A ball is gonna, especially the physics of your game. A ball, if it hits something, is gonna roll, right? But we can say we're gonna have, you know, this character here. And I'm gonna be honest with you, my strong point is not character design. And if you've ever seen my games, you know that's 100% true. All right, but you know what we can do maybe is go for this darker color right here. And I kind of liked actually what I had before. It's a little bit different. And I think that's going to show up really good on the background. It's going to be very easy to see. Or you know what? No, this is where we definitely need to bring in some new color, all right? So let's see if we can bring in a good accompany color that's going to look really good. And let's see here. All right. And, you know, here's the thing. I'm not like a great color theorist. You know what, though? Kind of like that. I think that could actually work. And red's a little bit weird to use for a character, but that definitely could work. Biggest mistake people make by far is making characters too big. Almost everyone does it. Characters can be, you know what's funny? A character this size being super tiny like that is so much better than a big character. Hey, that could be really interesting. Hey, what if you had multiple characters? You had these little characters and you can't let them all die. And you can do that with our software Buildbox. So you have like 4 characters, and then the whole goal is you start with these 5 characters, and then they start bouncing around, and then they start dying. And if you let all of them die, then the game is over. That could be kind of cool as well. So anyway, guys, that's just a quick little breakdown. I am going to show you the desaturated version. We'll do that for fun. So I could grab these, for example, right here, and just simply pull down and desaturate the colors a little bit so it's not so much saturation. Then I would go grab these right here, and do the same thing. We still have the same darkness in there. It's just desaturate a little bit, and then do the same thing. Maybe even lighten this up a little bit, like right there. And since I've lightened it up, I would be able to lighten this one up a little bit more as well. And we could go with something like that. Typically, I do like to desaturate the colors a bit. But anyway, so guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick little breakdown of how to do like a hyper casual, cool, new school style, minimal background and game for Buildbox or anything. You can use anything to make a game like that. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Trey Smith, I'll talk to you later. Bye.